On behalf of the Saskatchewan Retro GameCon, we are proud to present the 8-Bit Minute, where we interview a vendor, a sponsor, or a special guest in a fast, pixel-packed spotlight. Time to power up and press start. Hey everyone, this is Jared from the Saskatchewan Retro GameCon and welcome back to the 8-Bit Minute. Today we are talking with Greg Sakundiak, who is an arcade Pac-Man world champion. Greg, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I would love to hear more about what makes an arcade Pac-Man world champion. Tell me all about it.
Well, I started when I was like just a kid in the 80s. Back in like 1980. Started just playing games, and actually the first video game that I ever played was Pac-Man, like the one behind me here. It was actually the first game that I played when I walked into the arcade. And I just, back then it was a different time and different era. And there was really nothing to do. Like you could, there was like video games were the thing, right? So
Yeah.
besides that and breakdancing, and I mean, I did that too for a bit, but I only played Pac-Man for a little while, and I moved on to other video games, and then I came back to it in the 80s, and I actually back in the 80s I did end up getting a split screen on Pac-Man back in the 80s. I got 3.1 million back then. 20 years ago, I ended up getting back into it and just dedicated a lot of time because I was in that point in my life where I had some time and I had the money, and I ended up opening up an arcade here in Saskatoon for a while, and was able to dedicate a little bit of time to play some more. And I really wanted to get a perfect game on Pac-Man, and because they say if you're able to get a perfect game on Pac-Man, it's the holy grail of arcade feats, right? So
Yeah.
that's one of the things I've always wanted to do, and it actually took me about 17 years. 17 years to do it. Yeah, it was pretty tough. Like, I mean, I'm a father. I own my own business now. I own my own electrical company, and just between that and owning the arcade and the electrical company at the same time, and working, I mean, being a family man, it's so hard. You got to be able to be dedicated to what you're doing. So there was a lot of late nights.
Yeah, that's incredible. I can't imagine that kind of dedication, because I'm sure it's just like any other thing that you're taking to the very like nth degree of expertise. Is that if you even take a few days off of it, I'm sure you start to slide, and you would notice it more than anyone else that's just playing it casually.
Yeah, definitely. They say that to become an expert or to become a professional in something like even a sport, that you have to have at least 10,000 hours to become a professional or to become perfect at something, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a lot. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to become perfect at something, and it's something that I also used to be a professional arm wrestler,
Oh
and
wow.
I was a four-time Canadian national arm wrestling champion, and unified national United States Canadian champion as well. So I mean, before I left video games, and then I went to arm wrestling, and then I came back to playing video games, right? So
Maybe we can credit that to all that joystick work.
yeah, no doubt.
That's awesome. And so you did mention something called a split screen, and I don't have a background in that. Is that like the end screen, or like what is that? That kind of is that like the final thing that you see?
Yeah, like when you get to the end of Pac-Man, like which is level 256, right? Um, all the screens play normal the first 255 screens, and gradually as you progress through the game, it gets harder and harder, right? And when you get to the ninth key, it basically stays the same. The ghosts don't change color,
Oh.
and the Pac-Man itself moves 4 times slower than the ghost. So it's really, really hard.
Yeah.
And so you progress through the game like 255 levels, and once you get to the end of the game, it's called a split screen, as you mentioned. And half of the screen is like all numbers and letters and garbage, and the other half of the screen is like a normal Pac-Man board. And so you're actually able to eat the dots on the left hand side of the screen, and the right hand side of the screen is all jumbled. Basically, what happens is that the board itself, like the PCB, it can't comprehend, because there was a limit when back in the 80s, they only had so much memory, right?
Yeah.
So back in the 80s, they had programmed it to be that's as far as it can go, and after that, it couldn't, in the memory, it couldn't skip to the next level. And so it just ended up being a bunch of jumbled garbage. And so you could play the left-hand side of the screen, you can get all the dots. And actually there is 9 dots on the right-hand side of the screen that regenerate. So if you eat all the dots and you get, like, if you eat enough dots, you'll get the key that's in there, like the bonus. And then when you die, when you re-energize, like if you make it to the end on your first man, there's still another 9 dots that are there. So you can actually get those 9 dots, and that's how you end up with a perfect game, which is
Wow.
3,333,360. So you get a perfect, you make it all the way to the end on your first man, you eat all the dots on the left, you get the key, you get the nine dots, and then you die. And then when you regenerate for your second man, you get the 9 dots again.
It sounds like such a feat. I'm sure that's a screen that only a very select few have ever seen live.
Well, right now, I think there's only 9 people in the world since like 1980 that have done it, right?
Wow.
So
That's incredible. Well, again, congratulations. I mean, that's just an incredible feat in and of itself. And I know I'm a father of 2 young kids myself, and so I mean, gaming is definitely not at the forefront, but being able to show my kids, I'm showing them my Super Nintendo and showing them Donkey Kong, and just watching it through their eyes has been fun too. But yes, I've definitely shown my rust on those games because I haven't had a chance to play myself.
Oh, I know it's sometimes it's tough, when you're a family man, you gotta, it's late in the evening, and you got a wife and you got kids and everything, and you still got to spend some time with your wife, and you got to do the things you need to do before you can have time for yourself sometimes, right? So
Yeah, 100%. And so there must have been a point in your gaming that you kind of something switched where you really wanted to pursue this. Can you kind of explain that time, or was it just something like just you knew you had a skill for this, you just wanted to see how far you could take it?
yeah, I think like I had mentioned earlier, back in the 80s, I ended up getting 3.1 million. And in 1999, a friend of mine, who's a really, really close friend of mine, his name is Billy Mitchell. He was the first one. He was the first one to get a perfect game on Pac-Man, like a recorded, legitimate, perfect game on Pac-Man. Like in the 80s, I played video games actually professionally back then. I went to video game tournaments all over.
Okay.
I was part of the U.S. national video game team as well.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was a referee for the place called Twin Galaxies. They were the ones who verified arcade video game scores back in the 80s, all the way through up to today. Like they're still in existence for Guinness Book World Records. Like I'm in the Guinness Book World Records. And I don't only have the world record on Pac-Man. I have the world record on Dragon's Lair, and a few other titles as well, right? And in the Guinness Book World Records. So, but me chasing Pac-Man, the Pac-Man world record it all started with when Billy Mitchell ended up getting the world record getting a perfect game. And I heard about it, and that's when I lived in Calgary at the time. And that's when I actually started. It piqued my interest again, getting back into the video game culture. And I started collecting video games back then in 1999, 2000. And then we moved here to Saskatoon in 2000. And I just started collecting games again and doing stuff and getting back into it. And then it was always something that was in the back of my mind that I really, really, really wanted to do it. And then over the years from 1999 up until I started playing again, a few other people that did it.
Mm.
And just like I wanted to be known as the best Pac-Man player in the world.
You said like that's kind of the grail in that culture, right? Like that is the pinnacle. So, and you've done it.
Yeah, it's like the holy grail. It's the
Yeah.
pinnacle of classic arcade video game playing, that and Donkey Kong, right?
Right. Right.
And so like I'm pretty good at Donkey Kong too, but I'm not like, I've never broken 1 million on it, but I think I've gotten like 650,000. And some of the guys in the culture are like 650. You should be able to get 1 million, no problem, if you get it 650,000, right?
And the people that are not in that circle are like, I can't beat the third level.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And so, thank you so much for sharing that history and just the feats that you've done. Is there any other games that you've played? Maybe it's not competitively, that really stood out for you or that really inspired you to kind of keep going in the gaming world?
Yeah, like I'm the world record holder on Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know that. Like I have an original Dragon's Lair here, and I have an original Space Ace.
Nice.
And I was really drawn to that as well, back in the 80s, and that's the reason kind of why I have them. But it was something different, like
Hmm.
it was really, 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 really cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting the world record on Dragon's Lair in the 3-man. And then some of the games, I don't know, it was just it was different back in the day, it was
Hmm.
totally different. Like the games that were back then, it was the culture, not just the culture, but the way life was. It was different. Like I was able to go to school and go right from the school to the arcade and play video games. Like games like Robotron, Stargate, Defender,
Hmm.
Tempest, Galaga, Frogger, all those games. Like it was different. It's hard to explain. It's
Yeah.
you were able to get rid of all your worries and all the cares in your life when you went to the arcade, when you went
Hmm.
to play games. Didn't really matter what kind of game it was. There was always things that were happening there. There was pretty girls there. There was, there was music, there was video game sounds, you were able to just, hang out and be with your friends, because it was the place to be, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
it seems like such a culture shift. I mean, I know like with technology, we're more connected than ever, but at the same time, I mean, you're playing games by yourself on your couch. There's this disconnect, even though we're the connected the most we've ever been, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, like you could go in, and if you were half decent at a game, you could, like, by the time 1982 and 83 rolled around, I could play so many video games, and I could play them forever on a
Yeah.
quarter.
Right.
Like I could play 1942 or Tempest or Donkey Kong Jr., Galaga, any of those games like that. I could play forever, like Robotron, Stargate, like all those games. I could play them forever on a quarter. And it's like when you're actually that good, like you weren't just standing there alone playing at a game.
Right.
There was like 20, 30, 40 people standing behind you watching you play. Like it
Yeah.
was, yeah, like it was cool. Like it was like, it was cool.
That's awesome. And I mean, I feel like that's what they're trying to emulate now with streaming and things, right? I mean, and streaming's great, but to have that in-person energy, I'm sure is just unmatched.
Yeah, like I stream, I stream on Twitch. My
Nice.
Twitch handle is Mr. Perfect 2020, because
Okay.
I got my perfect game on May 19th, 2020, right?
And if there was someone listening, and it may not be Pac-Man, but if you have any advice for someone that's trying to get like that perfect score or trying to race, I know there's lots of speedrunners in certain games too. Do you have any tips
Yeah.
for anyone that's wanting to try to get into that style of gaming?
Okay, well, my my advice is play as much as you can whenever you can, but don't ignore the people around you,
Nice. Great
because
advice.
the people around you is what make your life,
Hmm.
not the video game.
Yeah,
It's
great
hard.
advice.
And you know what I mean? It's really hard. It's so hard. Like honestly, I dedicated so much time to becoming perfect at
Hmm.
Pac-Man. It it put a wedge between me and my family for a long
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
It did. And don't use the reset button. Play right from the beginning, because how are you going to learn? How are you
That's
going to learn not to make your mistakes if you don't play right from the beginning? Because, back in the 80s, there was no reset button. There
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
There was no reset button. You had to play straight every time, right from the beginning. There was no reset button. And it cost you a quarter, a dollar every time you played, man.
Well, this has been awesome, Greg. Thank you so much for your time. You did mention your Twitch. We'll make sure we put that on the screen. Is there anywhere else that people can find you, or is that the best place?
That's the best place to find me.
Excellent.
Just
Yeah.
add me, like or follow me, and then you'll get a notification right on Twitch.
Excellent.
And I play right now. I've been Pac-Man. I played Robotron. I played Dragon's Lair. I play Space Ace. I play Galaga. I play Donkey Kong. So I play the classics, just depending on how I'm feeling and what I play. So
Excellent.
please tune in whenever you can, and hopefully we'll see everybody soon.
Thanks, Greg, and hopefully we'll see you down at GameCon one of these years. It'd be great to see you. All the best.
All right. Have a good day. Thank you.